frozen. In the bottom left, we have playing the yellow Terran. It is none other than Cosmic's Krlos. In the top right, we have his opponent, VyperX, playing as the red Terran. Would the push have won if it was against the first bunker? Not necessarily. It comes down to micro in that situation. Whether or not, for example, the SCVs are in a position where they can be sniped off, or if the SCVs aren't pulled in time to repair the bunker. Basically, you just kind of need to slow the army down so that you can use the bunker to kill a lot of Marines without losing any of your own, really. That's kind of what it would be based on. Once you have 2 of those there, it's just so much HP, especially with the repair, it just becomes almost impossible to run over. Not to mention, the natural is kind of blocked off. In some situations, you may be able to just run past it, though that's very, very rare. Falling back in that situation, I think, was the right choice. Getting the 1 siege tank to try and break that down probably took a little bit too long, but you like the idea. You can see the attempt. It was to try and break down the bunkers with the siege tank. Basically, if the bunker wasn't done yet, yes, that wins. If there's no bunker at all, that wins. If there's 1 bunker there and there's not enough SCVs, that'll win. Or if the SCVs get sniped down really quickly, that'll also cause it to win. So it becomes kind of micro-y, which you, like, that's not a surprise. Pretty much any aggressive rush situation comes down a little bit more to micro than it does to macro. Though it does have a little bit of macro techniques in it, like you have to be careful about not getting early supply blocks and stuff like that. It, for the most part, is going to be basic micro stuff. But yeah, Krlos was on top of his scout in that game. He just kind of walked right out, saw the attack coming, and was able to snipe it off before the siege tank could get in position. So Krlos is being annoying. Slowing down the production of that barracks is able to scare the SCV back home. I don't think he really wants this to happen. It doesn't actually slow down his tech, really, because I believe he still has another barracks about to finish. So it should be alright in that department. Wall-off is complete at the front of Krlos' base, so no scouting for him. This is kind of the awkward reality of 4-player maps that are really big, is sometimes you don't get to scout your opponent and he gets to scout you. It creates kind of an uneven situation. That's why a lot of people don't like 4-player maps that don't have forced cross spawns. But, you know, where there are those negatives, there are benefits as well. Because the map is so huge, it's really hard to blindly cheese. If you try to hide a barracks out in the middle of the map and then you rush the wrong location, you not only look like an incredible idiot, but you probably won't win. So that's kind of a danger if you're trying to cheese, and thus also a measure of safety on a map like this. Now, there's furthermore the reality that, also yes, this is a lovely game heart map. Looking at the center right here with all the lovely doodads, including that temple that you see in the Protoss campaign. In this map, of course, we got that tucked natural in the back. So you only have to use 3 buildings to wall off, really, as any given race, and then you get kind of a free expansion that the other person can't attack with ground units. So not only is it difficult to cheese on, because you don't know where your opponent is half the time, but it's, oh, well, speaking of cheese, 4 barracks on 1 base, and no add-ons. He's just going to build a bunch of Marines. He basically said, I couldn't kill you with my Marine all-in last time, I'm going to Marine all-in harder. Oh boy. Now, Krlos back home is actually going for a lot of tech this time. You can see an armory coming down as well as a starport. He's actually pretty light on military units, and there's no bunker here. So if he doesn't start getting defenses up soon, he's going to be in an awkward position. This starport may give him Banshee tech, but we may find ourselves in a situation where we have Marines killing one base and Banshee killing all the workers in another. Now, gotta remember that, unlike the other races, the Terrans pretty much come pre-packaged with detection. They're able to grab that detection right from the scans as long as they're not using too many mules. And it's going to come down to that a little bit. Unfortunately, there's going to be no real defenses here to speak of. Oh, no, not Banshee. Looks like a Widow Mine drop, I think. I mean, I'm a little bit confused by this because if it was the Banshee, I mean, that kind of explains the tech lab. Like, the tech lab might be more of a... I don't know what he wants to do. Maybe Proxy Thor? Yeah, look at that. Proxy Thor drop. Wow. This is Krlos getting a little cocky here. I think he's just going to die well before this actually happens. Look how long that Thor takes to come out. Oh, boy. That 1 bunker at the front, there's basically nothing to defend here. There's going to be another bunker, but there's, like, no SCVs, and it takes a while to pull them up there. It's probably just going to die. Oh boy, here we go. Here come the Marines. Firing has commenced. Unfortunately, most of the Marines are not in position to actually engage, and they're not stopping that worker from building the other bunkers. He just gonna hang. Okay, yeah, he didn't push up there quite quickly enough, and here comes the SCVs to repair. And here comes the drop. Well, I take it back. I guess Krlos will be fine. But still, this seems like, holy crap. Now, Thor does basically one-shot, kind of, an SCV. It shoots twice, and those 2 shots, it's enough to kill it off. He sees the attack there. Now he's at the point where, you know, there's defenses in play. He's killing off the 1 bunker. There's actually just not enough Marines to do this, and he's got nothing to defend against that Thor back home, which is running around and looking for the rest of the workers. It has found them, and I'm afraid that this is more than likely going to be the end of that, as even though they're going to do a lot of damage to this Thor, he's simply going to pick it up and walk away. It's not even going to die if he's careful. In fact, he got up and went back down and went back to work. Oh no, all the workers die! No. And that is the end of that. There's now 1 worker left for VyperX. It would take an absolute miracle for him to win at this point. Not to say that it's impossible. This game, never underestimate the player's ability to throw a game, but yeah, looks like it's not going to be happening here. Krlos takes game number 2. In what actually honestly looked very similar to the previous game, but the Thors, I didn't expect the Thors. I guess it works very well against that build.